Hey everyone, it's Carmen from Moon River Yoga, and this is my 25-minute yoga flow to help you unwind and relax. With yoga, there are no requirements, there's no judgment. You can always modify or change the poses as you need, and you can always take a break. Most importantly, you want to keep yourself safe. We're going to start seated. Sitting nice and tall, finding a long spine. Top of the head lifting up towards the ceiling. And start to slow down your breath. Can you breathe in and out through the nose? Let the belly fill and empty. Slowing the breath. If you feel comfortable, you can let your eyes close. And I want you to imagine that with every exhale, you dissolve tension, you let go and melt, softening around the edges with every breath. Couple more deep breaths like this. Starting to notice the body, taking time to listen and notice. Sitting up really, really tall, we'll start by exhaling and lowering the chin down to the chest, breathing into the back of the neck. Take a couple breaths here. Next time you're inhaling, roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Hold and breathe long through the left side of the neck. Exhale to come back down, chin to chest. And inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale one more time, bring the chin back to the chest. And your inhale is going to bring the head up, back to a tall spine. Fingertips come to the floor on either side. We're going to crawl fingers away to lengthen through the arms. And next time you're inhaling, reach the arms out and up overhead. And on the exhale, we come back down, taking deep sun breaths. Reach out through fingertips all the way up, sweeping up on the inhale. Reaching out as you lower down on each exhale. Keep going, moving with the speed of your breath. We want the movement to match the breath. It can be faster or slower than mine, that's no problem. Maybe one more time, reaching up overhead. And exhaling back down, fingertips reaching out on either side. Sit really tall again. This time as we exhale, we're going to plant down through the left hand and reach the right arm up and over, holding this length through the right side. Inhale to come up. Exhale the other way. Left arm reaches up and over. Hold and breathe. Sending breath into the rib cage on the left side. And inhale, come back up really tall. Exhale, we're folding forward. Crawl the fingertips away in front of you. Lengthening through the back body. And maybe even sending breath down into the hips or the lower back, wherever you feel this. Remember to notice that breath. If you find that you lose track of it, just come back to it. Noticing again. From our forward fold, we're going to make our way to hands and knees. So you can roll forward over the knees if you want, or take your legs around to one side. Coming up to tabletop. Wrists right below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Find that strong tabletop. For cat and cow pose. We start with cow pose, inhaling, dropping the belly down, lifting the crown of the head. And then for cat pose, we exhale, pull the belly in, reaching the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, belly drops, crown of the head lifts. Exhale, tuck the chin as you reach the spine up. Back and forth with your breath. Inhale to cow, exhale to cat. If it feels really good to slow down, feel free. Maybe one more time each way. make your way back to tabletop. To thread the needle, let's start by shifting weight over onto our left hand. We're going to open up to the right, reaching right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Reaching up. Big inhale. As you exhale, thread the right arm through behind the left wrist. We're going to lower down to the right elbow. Maybe you're able to lower to the shoulder or even bring the side of the head down. Remember, wherever you are is fine. Hanging out here, we're rotating through the spine, opening through the shoulder. When you're ready to make your way out, plant really strong through that left hand. We're going to sweep the right arm all the way back up on an inhale, reaching fingers overhead. And exhale, come back down. Let's set up to do the same thing on the other side. Strong hands, fingers spread wide, grounding through the knuckles. We'll shift weight over onto the right hand this time, opening to the left arm reaches up. Big reach, big inhale. Exhale, thread that left arm all the way through behind the right wrist. Lower to the left elbow, shoulder, maybe even side of the head. Threading the needle. Still breathing even as your belly's twisted. Coming out the same way as we did on the other side. Ground strong through that right hand on an inhale. Sweep the left arm all the way back up towards the ceiling. And exhale back down, back to hands and knees. Next, we're going to set up for downward facing dog. So check in with the hands. Make sure fingers are spread wide and you're really grounding down. Pressing into the floor or the mat with your knuckles. That's going to protect your wrists. Next, we curl the toes under. Pressing strong into the hands. When you feel ready, see about lifting the knees, pressing the tailbone up and away. On this first one, you want to keep your knees bent a little bit, really focusing on lengthening through the spine. Reaching the tailbone up and away. You may even see about walking the legs out, bending one knee and then the other. Almost like you're pedaling the feet back and forth. Head hangs heavy here. Gaze is going to be back between the ankles or between the calves. No extra tension in the neck. Couple more breaths. Remembering to breathe. And stay with that breath as we slowly start to walk the feet towards the hands or the hands towards the feet. Whatever you want to do to make your way to standing forward fold or ragdoll. Nice deep bend in the knees as much as you need to hang the torso heavy. We want the head to hang heavy. Arms are released. If you prefer, you can grab opposite elbows and really let go through the shoulders. And if it feels good, you have the option here to maybe shift weight to the left foot, to the right foot. You can kind of sway side to side. We're reversing that blood flow, letting the blood flow into the head. Another breath here. And slowly, we're going to start to make our way up to standing, but we're going to take a few breaths to do it, rolling the body up, moving nice and slow as we let the blood drain back out of the head and into the body. Eventually, we make our way all the way up to standing. And we're going to set up for our mountain pose. Mountain pose really starts with the feet. Feet are about hip distance apart, grounding down. We want to think about being strong around the ankles, engaging the muscles through the calves and the knees as we work our way up. Can you keep those muscles engaged and strengthened through the thighs and hips? Strong core, shoulders down and back, crown of the head lifts. Hold all that engagement and still breathe. You can stay right here, or if you choose, you can sweep the arms up by the ears. Now, if your shoulders came up and scrunched up by your ears, go ahead and release them back down. Lots of space between ears and shoulders. Find that strength. Check in again. Our feet grounding down. Muscles wrapped around ankles and knees and hips. Strong through the belly. Another breath here. And if they're not already, bring the arms up overhead. You can either bring the hands together in steeple position, or if that feels a little restraining on the shoulders, you can grab opposite elbows instead. As we set up for half moon pose, take a big inhale, standing tall. On the exhale, let the hips reach to the left as the torso and arms come up and over to the right. Breathe into the left side. And check in with the feet. Is there still weight in both feet? Try to balance it out. Next inhale brings you back to center. And exhale the other way. Hips go right, torso and arms up and over to the left. Holding strong, find a focal point if you need for balance. And inhale to come back up. Exhale, release everything. Arms come back down. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Give yourself a little break. Come back to that mountain pose. Come back to standing nice and tall as we get ready to set up for our warrior pose. To come into warrior, hands come to the hips. A little bit of bend in the knees. We'll start by shifting weight over onto our left foot and step or slide the right foot back, finding a high lunge. Bending deep into the left knee. The left knee is going to be lined up right on top of the left ankle. Torso is tall, crown of the head reaching up. You are welcome to stay right here if this is where you feel comfortable. If you want to add a little bit more, go ahead and sweep the arms up by the ears. Reaching fingertips up, still sinking into the hips. Really strong engagement through the feet here, grounding down. Another breath or two in warrior. You're doing great. Find a place where you can keep your gaze to help you balance. And from warrior, we're going to move into our side warrior. For side warrior, we lower the right heel down, start to open the hips and the shoulders up to the right side. Left arm reaches forward and right arm reaches back. Fingertips reaching away from one another in opposite directions. If it feels okay, you can turn and gaze out over left fingertips. Strong legs here. Grounding down, maybe even squeezing feet in towards one another. Good. When you're ready to come out, bring the hands back down to the hips. Shift weight to that left foot. We're going to step back up to the top of the mat. Notice the difference from one side to the other before we even it out. With hands on hips, shift weight over to the right foot. This time we're going to step or slide the left foot back, finding that warrior. Back heel stays lifted, spine is tall. Bending through the right knee so that right knee is on top of the right ankle. Hold this engagement. Same options here with the arms. You can keep hands on the hips. You can bring hands to heart center or reach up by the ears. Couple breaths. And when you're ready to transition to side warrior on this side, the left heel, that back heel will lower down. We open hips and shoulders to the left. Right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Strong engagement. We want to create such a strong base here through the legs that it's like the upper body's just floating above it. You can turn and look out over right fingertips. One more breath here, holding strong. Bring hands back into the hips. And let's step back up to the top of the mat, feet coming together. Shake it out. Next, we're going to play with balance, playing with our tree pose. So come back to that mountain pose, feet right below the hips, grounding down, standing nice and tall. We'll start by shifting weight over to the left foot, coming up on right toes and turning the right knee out to the side. You can slide the right foot in so the sole of the foot comes to the inner left ankle. If you want to play with it a little more, you can see about lifting it to the calf or even bringing it up to the left thigh. We just don't want to press against the inside of the left knee, so above or below the knee. Hands can stay on the hips here. You can bring hands to heart center or reach up overhead. This is your time to play with balance. You don't have to be excellent and still the first time you do this. If you fall out, come right back in. This is your time to play with it. Another breath on this side. And let's release it back down, setting up on the other side. This time weight shifts over to the right foot as we come up on left toes. Left knee turns out. So bring that foot in. It can stay right here at the ankle. You can raise it up to the inner calf or thigh. Arms wherever you like. Find your breath. Let your breath help you balance and let your gaze help you balance. Find that focal point. One more breath in our tree on this side. And gently we're going to release back out. Let's make our way up to the top of the mat as we set up for an easy little sun salutation to make our way down to the mat. Standing tall. Inhale to sweep the arms out and up overhead. On the exhale, we're going to swan dive all the way down to forward fold. Inhale to come halfway up with a flat back. And exhale back down to that forward fold. With a deep bend in the knees, step one foot back and then the other, and make your way all the way down to your belly. We'll prepare for boat pose, arms. Come back by either side. Palms on the floor near the hips. Chin, lips, or forehead to the floor, tops of the feet on the floor. Big inhale on the floor. And our exhale helps us lift. Lift the head and chest, lift the legs. Check in with the neck. Make sure the back of the neck is safe, nice and long. So the crown of the head, the top of the head is going to be reaching forward, toes reaching back. Hands can stay on the mat. You can lift the hands and reach fingertips back towards the heels if you choose. Lower down and come back in if you need. We're going to stay for 2 more breaths. When that second breath is done, lower all the way down. Float the hands up under the shoulders. And let's press back to child's pose to rest. So come up through tabletop. Sink the hips back towards the heels, lowering down. You can reach the arms out in front. Lower the head to the mat, or maybe it feels better to build a little stack out of the arms for your head. Big deep breaths into the back body, letting go of all of that work. Letting gravity sink the hips down. Just another breath. And walk the hands in, coming up. Let's come to seated and swing the legs around in front. Setting up for some seated forward folds. Start by sitting nice and tall. Bend the left leg so the left knee falls out to the side, sole of the foot to the inner right leg. Inhale, sit tall. And exhale, hinge forward. Instead of thinking about reaching the top of the head towards the right foot, maybe you think about reaching the heart towards it. Keeping the back flat as best you can. Folding at the hips. One more breath in this forward fold. And let's bring the torso up. Left hand to the outside of the left knee. Bring it up so the sole of the foot is down. Hands to the top of the left knee. We press down to lift through the heart, finding length in the spine. Keep this length as you wrap the right arm around the left leg and twist to the left. Left hand can lower down behind the left hip. Turn and gaze over the left shoulder. Strong rotation. To come out, lift that left arm, sweep it back around, unwinding. Let's switch the legs out. Left leg extends, right leg folds in with the knee falling out to the side, sole of the foot to the inner left leg. Again, inhale tall, and exhale, hinge. Find your breath as you hold this fold here. Maybe start to slow down again. Noticing as you fill and empty the belly. Try to keep the spine long. Couple more breaths. Next inhale brings the torso up. Right hand to the outside of the right knee. We're going to place the sole of the right foot down. Both hands to the right knee. We press down to lift. Wrap the left arm around the right knee this time. And twist to the right. Turn and gaze over the right shoulder. One final twist here, almost like we're wringing out the spine. Letting go of holding, letting go of tension. Bring that right arm back around as you release both legs out. Maybe give the legs a little wiggle and then come back to seated. Tall spine. If you feel comfortable, let the eyes close as we come back to that breath. Slowing down, softening little by little. Allow every exhale to help you melt around the edges. As you breathe, maybe take a scan of the body, noticing what feels different here on the other side of our practice. Not trying to change or fix anything, just allowing yourself to be. Big, deep breaths in and out of the belly. And maybe you want to stay right here, and that's perfectly fine. If you choose, you can lower yourself down onto your back. Begin to make yourself comfortable for final relaxation. If your body needs any last movements, reaches, or twists, maybe you lay out nice and long, or bring soles of the feet together, knees falling out to the sides. Again, big deep breaths. Let the belly lift and lower to release. Letting go. Send breath down through the body, reaching out into the legs, ankles and feet releasing as you breathe out. Send an inhale down into the thighs and the hips. Fill that space and release completely. Breathe into the lower belly and back, softening. And let a breath fill the heart space, the upper chest and back. Exhaling to let go. Imagine you could send that breath into the shoulders and arms, falling to gravity. Even extend breath all the way out to the fingers and hands. Letting yourself be soft. Imagine a breath moving up the back of the neck into the top of the head. Maybe even sending a breath into the face. As it moves around, it softens the brow, the jaw, the lips. Allowing yourself to be soft, just for a few moments. Giving yourself permission to be still. Being gentle, not only with your body, but with your mind and your soul. Take one more big inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And just allow yourself to be. Ever so gently, just start to bring awareness back to the body, back to the breath, little by little. Just noticing the cool inhale, warm exhale. Maybe sending a little awareness out into fingers and toes, giving them a wiggle. Ever so slowly, you can begin to roll yourself onto your favorite side. Curl up here just for a moment to breathe. Take this time to tell yourself thank you. Imagine that you could breathe gratitude in and out of the body. Thanking yourself for being present during this practice, or for working through whatever it is you're working through right now. And then once again, we'll transition, gently pressing into the floor to come back up to seated once more, finding that tall spine, taking a few deep breaths as you notice your surroundings. Remember that you are in charge of your breath. You can use it to help you relax, slow down, reset, whatever it is that you need. If your eyes are closed, let them open, coming back to the room around you, and give yourself a smile. You deserve it. I thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.